You know what's funny about the fucking New World Order? You know what makes me chuckle about it? Is it's completely, on paper, it's totally fucking necessary. I have come full circle. I understand why I'm going to be eliminated. So if anybody in a fucking hood, a cloaked hood or whatever, you know, if you're listening in while you're dripping fucking hot wax on a goddamn Maltese Falcon, whatever the fuck you're doing in your weird-ass little ritual, I don't need to be re-educated. I get it. Just get on with the killing. You know? I'm going to be the only guy going to a death camp like playing a banjo. You know, with a folk tune called I Get It. No, I seriously, you know, I was reading all this shit about, you know, how in the UN they're finally talking about the population problem. And a lot of people are coming up with this shit where they're just like, look, we got to get rid of 90% of the population, you know, and to do it in a way that, like, you know, doesn't make every other fucking genocide, like, look, what am I trying to say here? The only way you can fucking do that, what am I trying to fucking say here? Jesus Christ. Okay, so they go, all right, if everybody just has one kid from here on out, we can get the population down to like 3.5 billion by 2075. But the problem is like most things, we just treated it like a term paper. It's too fucking late. So you got other people like going, no, we got to fucking, you know, you got the other people, they're acting like, you know, the host of that Hoarder show where they're just like, throw it all out. It's all shit, right? I think that's what they're going to do. So I guess if you want to survive, what you have to do is you got to up what you bring into the game. You know, because if you're like me and you're kind of like the human equivalent to a stack of newspapers with a dead cat underneath it. You know, you're gonna be out. You're gonna be out the fucking window, right? I wonder if they're gonna let you choose how you want to die. How would you do it? You know, what do I do? You know what I would like? I would like to fucking be on some sort of bungee cord that goes fucking, instead of up and down, it goes side to side, and I just swing on it. They bring me back like a giant slingshot. And just get shot to that giant TV at Cowboys game during like a Monday Night Football game. You know, knowing that I'm going to die, but I set it up like it's going to be this stunt where I'm going to go over it, you know, and I just horrify some kids. That'll be like my last thing as I bounce off that turf right next to Tony Romo. I'm sorry, people. I've been alone all fucking week. This is the shit I'm thinking about. This is the Monday Morning Podcast, everybody. This is the uplifting MMP. Talking about eliminating 90% of the people, the world's population, as you sit there eating a fucking eclair. Huh? Who had one already? Who already had a fucking eclair this week? Huh? Who? Why do people eat eclairs? Who eats a fucking eclair? You know what I mean? With that fucking goddamn jizz in the middle of it. I mean, if like it wasn't disgusting enough, you got to get like a donut facial. That's got to be like one of the, you know, like the low points when you just have like total, like just self-hatred. I would think as a fat person, if you just bought a dozen eclairs, when you're polishing off like the 8th or 9th one, if you had a big fuzzy beard, it's all in your mustache, and you look like you're in some donut bukkake movie, you just got to be like, what happened? You know, I used to climb trees. I used to do cartwheels.
Microchipping says Revelation 13:17. It's called Mark of the Beast. Now, sorry for this click here. This is going to be loud. Block your ears. 3, 2, 1, click. Where the fuck is it? I know I looked it up. Here we go. Revelation. This is the exact reason why I don't read the Bible. Library. Revelation 3:17. Let's see if I can get this here. The temple of God was opened in heaven, and there was seen in his temple the ark of his testament. The ark of God's testament is the Holy of Holies, the second apartment of the sanctuary. You already lost me. Okay, evidently you can rent a room out in his church. Or he has one other tenant. In the ministration of the early tabernacle, which served unto the example and shadow of heavenly things. This apartment was opened only by the great day of atonement for the cleansing of the sanctuary. Therefore, the announcement that the temple of God was opened. Oh, okay, well, there you go. So I guess that explains microchipping. Thank you, Bible. That really is the good book. I mean, I think I understand like computers more than I get the Bible. Why can't they just write it in fucking today's English? They do that with every other book of lies. No kidding. All right. I work for the microchip company in Wisconsin. Okay. Some stick fuck offered my boss a TV show. What the fuck are they going to call it? How to shed your employees' rights? Thanks, asshole. Sorry, just venting. Love your stuff. Thank God for your gifts. You don't punch a clock for Satan. Well, neither do you. You just work for a company in Wisconsin. Quit the fucking job. Then what do I do? I don't know. Collect unemployment and not be microchipped? Come on, people. Don't give Delta Airlines your fingerprints. All right? Please don't do this, people. Please don't give into this. Don't go to Tiger Stadium and give them your fingerprints so you don't have to stand in line for a fucking pretzel. You fucking dope. And please don't be dumb enough to think, well, dude, my credit's fucked. Good luck if somebody steals my identity. Dummy, they're going to create a false credit report. All they need is the Lee Harvey Oswald to pin it on, which will be you and your fingerprints, you fucking dope. Yeah? You know, in the future, there's going to be a knock on the door, and they're going to question why you killed a hooker in the Ukraine. And you'll be like, I've never been there in my life. Oh, yeah? Your fingerprints were. Here's the story of a person who didn't kill a hooker. Now he's getting banged in the ass in the Ukraine because he left his fingerprints at the ballpark because he wanted a Coors Light. All right. Sorry.
India taking cash out of circulation. Oh, Jesus Christ. Bill, just read an article about India and it freaked me out a little bit. Last November, India removed 86% of the country's cash from circulation. Most people are now using mobile payment options, and the articy, I don't know what that means, also goes on to say, the article, sorry, I got the laptop on the floor, I thought that was ATRCI. The article also goes on to say that ATM machines and bank cards would be obsolete as early as 2020 in India. Not having physical money and only using a phone for buying stuff really makes me uncomfortable. Any thoughts? Yeah, they're on their way to microchipping all of us. And once again, everybody's going to think that's fucking crazy. And you can go on the internet, you can look at shitheads who work for corporations that are like proud of their fucking microchip and their level of security clearance that they have. No, they're going to phase out fucking everything. There's going to be cameras everywhere. You're going to be fucking microchipped. And this is the thing. It's still not going to be enough control for them. They still won't feel comfortable that they have. That's how bad they're fucking you over, that they need to have that level of fucking surveillance on you. That's how fucking weird they are, and they want to see what you talk about, what you jerk off to, and all this shit. It's fucking beyond creepy, and I hate when something like that gets brought up on like the fucking news, and the best the news anchor can do is kind of widen their eyes like, okay, that's kind of, that's going to be interesting. And then they immediately go to talk to us about some fucking old lady that, just, made her own jam or some shit. That's the feel-good story to get out of it. No, it's unbelievably fucking creepy. And I don't know. I have no idea how to stop it. I have no idea how to fucking stop it, because no matter what you do, people just sit there. Like, I watched this thing on the news, and they showed a robot talking to a little 5-year-old kid, and the robot was going like, if you put me in the closet, that would make me sad. And like the robot is preying on the fucking emotions of a 5-year-old kid. Like, that thing should be illegal. Like, do you realize how fucked up that is? I mean, I guess they've always done that with products, preying on the emotions of kids, but to just see it in that level of raw form and just sit there and having this robot lying to a 5-year-old like it has fucking feelings. I don't know. Does it mean, or does everything seem like it's just really sped up and we're just heading right over the fucking waterfall? That's what I think's gonna. I don't know. That's what I believe, anyways. This is my theory. I believe that there's the upper 1% and that they're going to get us all microchipped. And when they get sick of that shit, they're gonna sick the robots on us. They're gonna take us all out, and then eventually the robots will take over the upper 1%. And not in the way you think. They're not going to kill them. They're just going to be like all looking like supermodels. And human beings won't bang each other anymore because it's going to be way more difficult. You know what I mean? Be way more fucking difficult than banging a real fucking human being, and then we'll just become extinct.
All right, microchipping. Oh, God, don't even get me started on this. I just cannot fucking, but like, I just can't fucking believe this shit. Do you know Delta Airlines wants to start using people's fingerprints as a way for you to get on the fucking plane? And do you know that most people won't have a problem with it? They're so fucking stupid. It's like, there's so many people out in the world. It's almost like, you know what, dude? Why don't you just become a fucking slave? Like, how much are you going to give to these people? How underpaid are politicians that they will not stand up to these people? These corporations, I swear to God, they're sitting there wasting all this fucking time with ISIS and all this other bullshit. These fucking corporations, the shit that they're doing to their own goddamn countrymen, which they really don't have because they're fucking global. They don't give a shit about anything, about just trying to make more fucking money. And, dude, they're going to start microchipping people? This Wisconsin company to implant microchips in employees. And like 5 people already agreed to it. They're going to take something foreign that's not natural to your body and they're going to stick it underneath your fucking skin. They're going to know where you are at all fucking times. And all these fucking adults, well, hey, you know, if you're not doing anything wrong, what's your fucking problem? Here's the fucking problem, okay? Just because you're a fucking dope doesn't mean the rest of the world is. Okay? I think it's safe to say that me and everybody else listening to this thing for the most part was not as smart as fucking George Washington. Right? Fair enough. Okay? Well, here's the deal. If George Washington was microchipped and all his fucking buddies were microchipped, this fucking country wouldn't exist. Because they would have known where he was, they would have gone over there, and they would have fucking killed him, and that would have been the end of the fucking rebellion. So what you're doing is you're having faith that these fucking people at the top, who have not even remotely demonstrated on any fucking level at any point in history that they give a flying fuck about anybody other than themselves, you're gonna turn over that level of power. You're gonna get fingerprinted by Delta fucking Airlines like you've committed some sort of a fucking crime. A fucking airline is gonna have your fucking fingerprints? Who in the fuck did they think they are? Do you know when I went to buy my car, they asked for my thumbprint? I was like, I'm not getting my fucking fingerprints to you're a car dealership. They go, well, this is to protect you. No, it isn't, you douche. You're going to sell this to somebody. It's part of my profile. I think they're all sharing information about you, what you buy, where you live, what your social security number is, your fucking fingerprints. They're going to get it all the way down to your fucking DNA. I don't know. And these politicians will not push back on any level because the president makes $500,000 a year. That's the highest paid political office, is $500 fucking grand a year. And they need $100 million to get the job. I don't have $100 million. You don't have $100 million. Corporations do. And that's who they owe it to. So they just look the other fucking way. And what do? They sit there and they shit on fucking comedians. Constantly going after, do you hear what he said about Caitlyn Jenner? And they look the other way with pharmaceutical companies handing out fucking opiates like they're giving out flyers to some sort of jam band. And now we got this heroin fucking problem. They don't give a fuck. They don't say anything about it. Sorry. I know. I'm fucking losing my shit here. But like, what they've done to the food supply, what the fuck what the bankers have done, left all these people upside down in their own fucking houses. What they've done to the water supply, fracking, causing earthquakes in parts of the world that never had fucking earthquakes, fucking up the drinking water. You know, they got to send a fucking pipeline under the fucking Native Americans' land. I mean, like we haven't done enough to those fucking people. You know, do you hear any politicians talking about that? Nah, nobody talks about that shit. But God for fucking bid, you do a fucking joke in a strip mall and they're fucking all over it. Then that becomes like some big goddamn story.
This is fucking horrific, and it makes me happy that I'm 49 years of age. The fact that I think I'm going to maybe get to live half a fucking century without a fucking airline having my fingerprints and me walking around with the goddamn microchip. You know? I love that I lived 50 years before the fucking... Oh, Jesus. She's up, huh? I love that I got to live 50 years before robots showed up. It's just greed and power, completely 100% out of control. And I hate, like, I'm reading this is Eyewitness, ABC News. So these guys are all bought and paid for. CNN's bought and paid for. Fox News is bought and paid for. They're all fucking bought and paid for because the same people I just brought up, they advertise on their fucking networks. So they have to watch what they say because they don't want to lose their ad money because that's how they get paid, right? So they always have like, oh, geez, this is a little unsettling. You know, when they always come back from it, when they show some fucking robot. You've ever seen that? You watch like the local news? Or they show somebody getting microchip, and they always come back to the anchors, and they kind of do that, ooh, that's kind of, and then they just move on to the next thing. But some fucking old lady who makes her own jam, like that's supposed to make you feel better at the end of the fucking newscast. Or some puppy that they thought was lost and fucking sniffed its way back to the station wagon 3 towns away, right? Whatever the fuck they leave you on. No, corporations are completely out of control. They've been out of control my entire life, and now it's reaching a level that it's like you're watching a bad sci-fi movie. I think it's fucking insane. Why the fuck do you need my fingerprints as a fucking airline? Who the fuck are you? You're not the FBI. You're not the government. You're a fucking airline. Your fingerprints. And this is the thing. People will fucking do all of this so they don't have to stand in a line. They'll let them scan their fucking retina. They'll give them a fucking baby just so they can be pre-checked. That's all you got to do. You just hold a little cookie out, and the average fucking mouth-breathing fucking moron. But you know something? I swear to God, I mean, this is really cynical, but you walk around, and I swear to God, half the fucking people should be microchipped. You should know where these fucking idiots are. I'll never forget that guy galloping sideways on that Trump rally, screaming at all these stupid liberals, going, fuck political correctness, build the wall, as he's fucking galloping, like that was going to make his life better. Like that was what was holding him back. I swear to God, like, I don't give a fuck how dumb you are. You have to know, as a white dude, if you were born in the United States of America, okay, you're not going to get a better starting block than that. All right? And if you can't figure out some sort of game, I mean, if you're going to fucking blame anybody, why are you going to look down? You got to go up. That's what's fucking you over. Democrats and Republicans fucking you over. I just don't get how people don't see that. But I'm like most people. I feel like my ideas are right and no one else has a good point. Unreal. This fucking car dealership. Can we get your thumbprint? It's like, yeah, no, you guys sell cars. You understand that? You guys lie for a living. Other salesmen who lie for a living turn the other way. Turn the other way when they see a car salesman. You're like the bottom of the barrel fucking salesman. I'm going to give you my fingerprint. You know why they say they wanted my fingerprint? They go, just in case somebody comes in and is an imposter and pretends that they're you and tries to buy a car. And I just looked at the guy and I was like, you know what? I'm going to take my chances on that. And the guy literally goes, and this is what killed me. He goes, you're the first person we've ever have say no to that. Now, I hope he's just being a car salesman and he was lying to me and that was his last ditch effort to try to convince me. But the other part is he's actually telling the truth. It's just like, then what happens is what this is how they do it. Is most people are dopes, so they don't think. And then what happens is it becomes a herd mentality. And all they got to do is get most of the herd to start running over the fucking cliff. And you have to do it too, because if you don't, then you're just going to be fucking sitting there all by yourself. Like, hey, I'm not going to have a cell phone. Hey, I'm not going to have this. I'm not going to have that. And then your life, the way you're going to lead it, becomes extremely limited. And next thing you know, you're fucking half naked walking around your backyard trying to like trap squirrels so you can eat that day, because you're not doing what everybody else is doing. And it's just, you know what's going to be the worst is when they try to convince people to do it, right? There's going to be some politician getting it with that fucking smile on his face where he's like, I don't want to do this, but I have to do this. I have to do this so I can go on the post-president fucking, $70 million speaking tour where I go out and I give speeches to the same fucking people that put me into office. Like the hero of all hero presidents, Obama, is about to do. That motherfucker has $69 million worth of gigs on the books coming up. I will never for the life of me understand why that guy, liberals look at that guy like he fucking did something for him. I will never get that. It's like that guy had his face in the pig trough just like everybody else. I mean, I don't know what it is. I think it's because he's sandwiched between two of the worst public speakers of all time, Bush and fucking Trump. You know what I mean? I think if he came after Clinton, where Clinton wasn't the greatest, but I don't know. The women fucking loved him. I will never get that either. How much women love that fucking big fucking baby Huey looking goofball. Jesus, Bill, are there any presidents that you liked? Yeah, I didn't mind the first George Bush, fucking war hero, and I liked Jimmy Carter.
Oh, I got a funny fucking story for you. All right? Listen to this shit. So I'm going through fucking security. All right? And they have the regular metal detector, and then they got the fucking X-ray one that I don't go through. I don't go through that fucking thing because I don't give a shit what they tell me. That thing is not good for you. I remember when it first fucking came out and people were opting out, and I remember people going like, oh, what's the big deal? You already talk on your cell phone, like all that dumb shit that people say, Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, so why don't I get extra radiation? Why don't I just add to it? Just make sure I get fucking cancer, right? And what did they say? They try to say that the thing was totally fucking safe, and then what ends up happening? After a year and a half of radiating everybody in my country too much, they realized that they had the fucking thing turned up too high. And to this fucking day, when you go through one of those, if a kid's young enough, they fucking send them around. Because it fucking retards the puberty process or something like that. But I'm supposed to go through it? Go fuck yourself. So I always opt out. And I don't give a fuck about your opinion on this, by the way. I don't need to hear your fucking opinion. This is just my opinion. If you want to go through the fucking thing, more power to you. So I'm down here in Australia, and they got the regular one, and then they got the bad one. So every third person or whatever has to go through or whatever. So I come up, and guess what? They want me to go through that other one. And I'm like, yeah, I'm opting out. And they're like, you can't opt out in Australia. So now I'm in this fucking thing where I'm challenging authority in a different country, which is always scary. But I just said I'm not going through it. And the guy starts going like, he goes, do you mind if I ask you why? And I go, yeah, because I used to work in a dental office. And I took fucking x-rays, and I put a lead vest over somebody before I fucking took an x-ray. And I got cancer in my family, so I don't want to go through it. And he goes, well, you can't opt out here. Plus, the ones down here, he goes, this thing only sees through your pockets. This fucking rent-a-cop, like he knows how this fucking thing works, right? Oh, it just sees through your pockets. Really? You fat fuck? What do you know about anything other than eating too many fucking donuts? You douche, right? So I say to the guy, I go, well, we had the one in the States, they had it turned up too high. He goes, this is a different one. I go, no, it isn't. I go, that's the same company. I'm not going through it. He goes, all right, well, then you have to stand over there. I'm like, fine. So the guy fucking makes me stand over there for like 10 minutes. Then this other fucking guy comes walking over, and he's got this little fucking, like when you get your baseball team schedule or your hockey team schedule for the fucking year? He comes over with one of those that's like 4 pages Most of it is pictures. And he goes, if you just want to read up on it, and I just started laughing like, what, that little kid's book you have there? That explains that complex fucking machine over there? And he goes, no, it explains it. I go, who explained it? The people who made that fucking thing? I'm obviously not cursing at them, but they just said you can't fucking opt out. It's a law down here. Now, if I had the fucking time and the wherewithal, the presence of mind during that conversation, I should have said, tell me what law it is. Tell me what fucking law that says I have to go through that fucking thing. Pat me down. We don't do that here. Well, you should fucking start. Fucking unreal. So then I ended up having to go through the goddamn thing. The guy was actually nice. He apologized for it. And I just said, listen, man, I know it's not you. This is what it always is. It's not you. You're just the guy here who has to tell me I have to fucking go through it. But the real cunts who are making money off it, who fly fucking private, who never have to go through that thing, don't have to worry about having their entire fucking head all the way down to their balls and their fucking toes radiated. So if there's anybody out there that has a fucking scientific background and can explain to me how something that can see through my fucking clothes is not some sort of an X-ray. I mean, Jesus Christ, drinking Coca-Cola can give you cancer. You're telling me standing in that fucking thing, head to fucking toe, put your arms up? Oh, it just shoots beams at you. It's just looking at what's in your pockets. Oh, yeah? Is that why when I come out the other side, there's an entire image of me? I don't know. So whatever. So that was my fucking big goddamn moment. Fucking fat fuck. Making me stand there for like... That's another thing that they do, that passive-aggressive thing, is they make you stand there for fucking 10 minutes. Trying to break your will, knowing that you're probably late for your flight.
Of course.
What do you mean, of course?
Of course the moon landing happened.
Bill, it happened. Jesus Christ.
Can I ask you a question? First of all, Joe, you don't work at NASA, so you just shut up.
Bill, neither do you.
I know I don't.
And you actually are posing the concept that the moon landing possibly didn't happen?
I'm asking it. I'm just asking a question.
You know it happened, Bill. Are you one of the people that think 9/11 could have been an inside job?
Yeah.
Oh, for Christ's sakes. All right. I just want to know where I stand with you. That's all.
Absolutely. Are you one of those guys who just watches TV and just feels like they're just telling you the truth?
Oh, you're right, Bill. They got me brainwashed, man.
I'm not saying that. Oh, I don't like how he can be this pompous ass, like, are you one of those people? Like you're on fucking Fox News. Joe, you don't read. I spent a week with you. You don't do anything.
Neither do you, Bill.
I know. Well, stop fucking acting like you're above me. You're just as fucking stupid as I am.
I think.
I'm just gonna fucking throw this at you.
Certain theories are more ludicrous than others. I think 9/11 being an inside job is ludicrous. I think it's ludicrous.
Well, I don't know. When you see those firemen going that they heard like explosions and that type of thing, dude, that middle building, what the fuck was with that thing? What, did it get lonely? The other two collapse and like there's no damage, and all of a sudden it's just gonna take a fall. That looked like Sonny Liston the first time he fought.
110-story building fell on it.
No, it didn't.
Yeah, it did.
It didn't.
It did.
Oh yeah, that thing just perfectly fucking implodes. You know how many times it's happened? 3 times. In history, all on 9/11. Dude, I'm not saying that fucking, like, literally the United States did it, but I mean, I don't know. It just seemed... Dude, do you believe this shit, dude? That passport of Muhammad Atta was in his fucking pocket. It flew out, landed like 100 stories down underneath a fucking building, and it's perfectly readable, and they find a suitcase with all this damnable shit in it. Didn't the whole fucking plane disintegrate, dude? I'm just saying, dude. I'm not saying... I shouldn't have said that it's an inside job, but I'm saying, I don't know what happened. Whatever they said happened down there. It doesn't fucking add up, dude. There's a lot of, like, there's a lot of weird shit, man. There's definitely a lot of weird shit going on.
I think
Pearl Harbor, the whole Japanese Navy is coming across the fucking Pacific Ocean and nobody notices.
I think that
I think this is what I think they do. I think they don't literally plan shit. I think they look the other way and shit ends up happening. And then everybody gets pissed, and then everybody's on the same page. Maybe that's how you have to do it. I don't know if that's for the betterment of the country. I have no idea.
I have a friend. Let me say this. I have a friend that worked in a certain area of government security or whatever, that field. He told me, he said after 9/11, he goes, there's all this uproar about all the terrorist threats we're receiving. He goes, this country has received terrorist threats every single day in multitude for so many years you can't even fathom. But now that something finally happened, it's being brought into the attention of the public. It's always hidden. It's never talked about. And once in a while, maybe something gets through and some shit happens. But he's like, this is par for the fucking course, man. These threats are coming in every single day in high volume. It's nothing new. It's nothing new.
I don't like how you pulled the "I have a friend in the Pentagon" card.
It's true, though. I don't know. He's not in the Pentagon. He worked in the field of government security and defense.
So he asked people if they had their card when they walked into a government building?
No,
This is your reference?
No, he worked in...
Jeff, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. You know I don't.
That's a great out.
No, I don't.
I can't argue that.
I don't. I'm a paranoid psychopath. I don't buy any of it. It just all seems so fucking stupid to me.
You really think that like there was like a crew, like a demo crew went into the World Trade Center and it was setting up
you know what I really
explosive
think? No. I don't think all of that.
No
you know,
noticed.
but what I do think is the evidence that they got. I don't believe that you could be in a fucking plane that fucking bursts into flames. They can't find the black box, but they find your passport.
Okay, well, all right.
That type of shit.
If you want to argue that, that's fine.
Yeah.
But why is it so crazy for a 747 to crash into a building and, oh my God, the building actually comes down from it?
No, it's more that it just like perfectly implodes.
Yeah, but have you watched? So what are you saying? Because you're not saying that there was a demo crew setting up charges in the building. So what are you saying?
I'm saying I don't know what happened, but whatever they're telling me, I just don't believe it.
Why is it so hard to believe that jet fuel weakened all the steel in that building?
Because I watched scientists on TV saying the degrees that jet fuel burns at and what the degree it has to be.
It's not enough to melt steel. It's enough to weaken it.
You're not an architect either, dude. So stop with the pointing.
But see, here's where you're uninformed and I am informed because I've watched
Joe,
enough
you're
stuff.
giving me shit. This is the whole show. No reading, no research, just strong opinions.
See,
okay? You're giving me shit about it. I can't believe we're in the fucking hacky 9/11 conspiracy theory. I didn't want to even be in this fucking shit.
I just got annoyed when you said, you're just going to believe at face value that somebody walked on the moon? Somebody walked on the
I didn't say that.
moon.
I didn't say that.
That's exactly what you were saying.
No, I was saying with the 9/11 thing. Like, some of the shit was just kind of like, really? That's fucking weird.
You said to Danny
That's how it all
before
started.
that, it started with the thing about the moon. You go, do you believe somebody walked on the moon? Danny goes, yeah. And you go, you do? Why? Because, Bill, somebody walked on the fucking moon. We've been going to the moon for years.
How come whenever you look through a telescope, you don't see the little car up there? Didn't we leave shit up there?
The little car.
Yeah, remember when they drove around the car? Was that just in Legoland, or did they really do that?
That was in Legoland and in Superman 2. Outside of that, there was no car.
No, I've seen
I'm
kidding.
pair of binoculars? I'm sure if you had a powerful enough telescope.
Okay, then we can catch Danny here. Hey, what are you looking at? A pair of binoculars? Exactly. What power level telescope do I need to look through?
Probably 500x.
I would have believed that if you said it with a straight face.
Oh, God. I'm really getting pounded on this show by two other fucking idiots. That's what's annoying me.
I can't wait to get to this fucking thing later on in this podcast where this guy is trying to claim that the Earth can sustain 100 billion people. I really cannot. I cannot wait. I just glanced at it and looked at it, and it's just. I just. How the fuck you arrived at that number? And I actually tried to find shit. I started looking up how many fucking people the Earth can sustain. And what I immediately found was that nobody could say for certain, but the numbers estimated were nowhere near 100 million fucking people. 100 billion, sorry. So I cannot wait to read this guy somehow claiming that there's enough farmland to feed 100 fucking billion people. I don't okay, do we stack each other on top of one another? And even then, do elephants get to roam free anymore? Where are all the fucking animals? If there was 100 billion people on the planet, I would think that cannibalism would slowly start to become legal. They would have they'd have farm people or stock people, that's what they call them, and they would be simply used for food, we just, and of course it would be, the evil white man would decide who it is that gets eaten first. Maybe they'd start with like the pygmies or something like that, because it'd be like, all right, well, they are of a particular race, but they're not as tall as most people in that race. So, they're sort of bite-sized. They're like sliders, right? Sliders. They're like human sliders.
You know, get a little honey bun, you know, stick a fucking ankle between the two, right? Why would you eat an ankle? Ankle meat? All right. Oh, here it is. Here it is. This is the one I wanted to read. This is amazing. Overpopulation myth. Bill, how you're doing? And I'm just checking in on you. To inform you that if you go online and see for yourself how much arable, A-R-A-B-L-E, farmland and resources there actually is in the world, you'll see that there is enough to feed and home at least 100 billion people for a provable fact. I don't know. That sentence didn't make sense. Did you like voice text this? Or did you actually, this is how you actually type out sentences? Person goes, so anytime you hear anyone say that 7 billion people is too many people, they're, T-H-E-I-R, either seriously misinformed and or too lazy to do some research, or flat out lying through their teeth like our so-called leaders and scientists must be. Oh yeah, they got to be lying because you can't even spell "there" right. Because within 1 to 2 days of research, you can find studies that prove what I say. It's going to take me 1 to 2 days to find it on the internet. This is fucking hilarious. 1 to 2 days to research, you can find studies that prove what I say is true. Parentheses, at least 100 billion. Now, I know you're in the business of waking the masses up, just like the late, great Bill Hicks. No, I'm not. But do you realize how serious the situation is regarding the distraction and brainwashing as organized by big business and their controlling family owners? So as great as I think you and your comedy are, mentioning overpopulation, which is a complete myth, is doing them, parentheses, big corporations and the cunts who own them, a big service in adding to the brainwashing. Anyway, Bill, I know you're a great man because of the subjects you talk about during your shows, but please look for yourself at how much arable farmland there is and consider the fact that all food grows completely for free. Wow. All right. Well, I'll tell you this, buddy. I know I'm a moron, so I just looked up. I looked at how many people can the earth sustain. And it says, how many people can the earth support? So 10 billion people is the utmost population limit where food is concerned. That's the first one. The next one says more than 7 billion people currently are on the planet, compared to 3 billion in 1967. That one doesn't say. Well, that's a video. I don't want to watch that. Current population is 3 times the sustainable level. That's the next article. How many people can the earth sustain? I'll click on this one. I'm trying to find anything that says anything even remotely close to 100 billion. Here's a staggering stat. According to the United Nations, the world's current population of 7.2 billion, is now up to 7.8, is projected to increase by 1 billion over the next 12 years, which would bring us to 9.6 billion by 2050. How can we sustain all these people on the planet? Or rather, how many people can this planet sustain? That is the question Alan Weissman explored in his latest book, Countdown, Our Last Best Hope for a Future on Earth, ? Jesus Christ, a bunch of conversations. Bunch of words. How about a number? Where is the fucking number? All right, he has the chart. Or how it's going to. In the next 50 years, we will need to produce as much food as has ever been consumed for an entire human history. Well, that makes sense because there'll be the most people. There'll be the most farts ever in the history of human beings. Well, there's no fucking number there. Sir, all I can tell you is if you see the environmental damage that 7.8 billion people did, if you're going to have 100 billion people, at this point in Africa, there's barely any land for wild animals. It's all like, for the most part, down in the southern part of the country, it's all like roped off. It's finite. You know what I mean? They're completely surrounded. I'd have to say that I disagree.
And not just by your spelling, because I couldn't read half the fucking words you said even when you spelt them right. But yeah, no, there's no fucking way 100 billion people. And there's any sort of animal life left that isn't stuck in a cage. You know what I mean? And also, in this last year, I traveled to Singapore, Hong Kong, and Mumbai, India, and I saw what that next level of population looked like, dude. And I was breathing that air. Not Singapore. Singapore was different. But Hong Kong and Mumbai, India, you could almost taste the fucking air, and it was just way too many fucking people. I can tell you that. There's no way 100 billion people. And I don't understand why I need to look it up for 1 to 2 days. Why couldn't you just send me a link? I would love for you to be right, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say you're not. I'm going to go with the scientists on this one. And also, this also sounds like, when people denied global warming. Not to get all political, but one political party adamantly denied it for years and years and years, and now decades, and now they finally just go, yeah, we are causing climate change. But you know what? It's too late now. So I imagine that's what we're going to do. Out here, we have a fucking methane gas leak that's been going on, and I guess it's like 10 times worse than carbon dioxide as far as getting put into the fucking atmosphere, as far as heating it up and all that. We're completely fucked. We're fucked. We're absolutely fucked. And selfishly, I hope it doesn't happen by the end of my own life, which is the exact sort of thought process that got us into this mess to begin with. But, sir, you're correct in assuming that I'm a fucking dope and I don't know what I'm talking about. But I'm just kind of going with having traveled extensively, for the last 20 years on the road and watching the population increase just in this country. It's a weird thing when the population it keeps looking like it's sort of leveled off. And I don't know if because there's no factories anymore. All I know is it used to be back in the day, if I jumped on the highway at 2 PM, I was good. And now everywhere I go, there's like traffic. And I'm just looking at these people going like, are you guys all stand-up comics? Does everybody work the third shift? How the fuck are all these people out on the road? I don't even know what's going on. Do a lot of people work from home and they're all driving out to get a sandwich at that time? I don't know. You know what? Let me look up. I heard the U.S. population has kind of leveled off, which has excited me. That's exciting to me, U.S. population. Oh, Jesus Christ, Bill. Can you fucking population by year? Let's do this. All right, let's see what we got here. U.S. population by year. Right. Let's go back to 1997. There was 2.7265 million, and now there's 322.07 million. So it's gone up by like 50 million. Is that enough to notice? Well, that's actually, that's significant, right? That's like a 20% increase. I think I'm making some points. Anyways, I forgot to tell you guys this shit. I almost forgot this fucking story. So I've been trying to work out when I've been here. 2 out of 3 days I've worked out, right? So I go to the gym the first day. It's right down the street from my apartment. There's no fucking problems. I walk in. The guy behind the counter is cool. There's nobody else there. No manager, just some cool guy. He goes, hey, by the way, it's $15, but if you go on the internet and you look this shit up, it only costs you $5. I said, dude, I'm old. I suck at the internet. Okay, just generally speaking, I'm not good at it. He goes, I'm just saying, it's money. I was like, all right, man, I'll try to find the fucking page and I'll come back the next day. I'll only pay $5. So he goes, cool. No problems. No fucking problems. I have a great workout. I fucking throw the weights around. Classic shit. Comedian. I go to the gym in the middle of the day. It's great. There's nobody fucking there. Okay? A couple of trophy wives on treadmills, fucking looking at their Instagram as they walk fucking half a mile an hour. And then you come walking in, and I don't give a fuck what time of day you walk into a gym. If you have to do chest that day, all the benches are going to be taken up. You know what I mean? Nobody's ever doing squats. You can walk into a gym Saturday. Fucking Saturday. Like, what's it busy? Like, early in the morning when people come in, whatever, 9 a.m., whatever, fucking the busiest time, right after work. 6 o'clock at night. Okay, you can go walk into a gym and you can just immediately just start doing squats. Nobody does fucking legs. everybody does the bench. So I walk in there, there's 5 people. They have 3 benches. There's like 5 people working out. 3 of them are guys fucking bench pressing. Goddamn cunt. So I got to sit there and pretend like I'm fucking really stretching. I'm not really stretching. I'm waiting for you to finish. Right? So anyways, that was the first day. So the second day I go back and I'm like, all right, here we go. You know, I'm going to run into this guy again. He's going to say, how come you didn't get the fucking thing that only makes you pay $5? I'm going to be like, because I suck at the internet. Remember? I'll pay 15. I don't give a fuck. Right? And I come showing up. He's not there. There's some lady there, and then this fucking manager buzzing around. Hey, how long are you in town for? Would you like to get a membership? Blah, blah. I said, no, dude, I just want to work out today. He goes, all right, fill out this form. So it's name, address, phone number, email, all of this shit. So I write down a fake name, and I say I'm from Alaska, and that's it, right? So he goes, no, I'm sorry, sir, you got to fill out the rest of this, where all the address is. Now, all I had to do was just fill out a fucking fake address, but, you know. It's not how I'm wired. I got to make a point. I go, dude, I have to give you my home address? He goes, yes. I go, dude, I'm not trying to be a jerk, but I'm not going to give you my home address. I'm not going to tell you where I live so I can work out one day at a gym. And he goes, well, you know, you have to fill it out. I go, why? Why do you need to know where I live? And he hems and haws, and I just keep going, why do you need to know where I live? Okay, it's $15 to work out. I have the $15. I'm going to give it to you, and I'm going to work out at the gym. Why do you need to know where I live? So finally he goes, well, sir, you know, God forbid if you have some sort of incident happens and we need to get in contact with somebody. I said, so you're telling me that God forbid, to use your expression, God forbid I keel over on the elliptical, you're not gonna dial 911. You're gonna go drive to my house and knock on the door and hope somebody's there. That's what you're gonna do. You're not gonna do that. You're gonna call 911 like everybody else. And he just keeps going, oh, you know, who are we gonna contact? It's like, what the fuck do you care? Who to contact? You know, I just said, look, if you can tell me why I need to put down my home address, I'll write it down. But other than that, I'll give you a phone number, somebody to call if something happens to me. But don't call them. They're not a doctor. Call 911. Tell you what, yeah, that's the deal. Call 911, and here's a number, you know, if you want to let my wife know where the hell I'm going. That's it. You don't need to know where I live. So the guy finally goes, well, you have to fill it out. And I go, why? And he goes, it's protocol. And I go, exactly. You cannot logically defend why you want my home address. You're getting my home address so the people in corporate will have that information and they can sell it to other people. Right? So I go, I'm not working out here, right? So I go to walk away. And then the lady behind the desk, she goes, have a nice day, sir. I don't say anything, keep walking to the elevator. She goes, have a nice day, sir. And I turn around, I go, I understand sarcasm. You're not telling me to have a nice day. You're telling me to go F myself. I got in the elevator. I know a lot of you guys are like, Bill, why don't you just you write a fake address? That's what I fuck. You know why? Because at some point there's got to be some sort of pushback. Somebody has to fucking complain about this shit. When you walk into those places and they go, do you have an ID? Don't ever hand them your ID. You hold it. And just say, here you go. I'll hold it right up to your fucking face. You want to read it? Go ahead and read it. But you're not typing in shit from my ID onto your fucking computer. Every time you put down my name and my address, you've added another layer where I am vulnerable to identity theft. And I'm not going to do that just to go work out at a fucking gym. I'm not having a kidney transplant, you cunt. I'm going to go do some fucking pull-ups. Give you all my fucking information. I don't know. You guys probably think I'm a psycho, right? I'm not. I'm right. I'm right on this one. I'm wrong about a lot of other shit. Whatever. This is stupid. Me just sit here telling you that I'm right. Oh, really, Bill? Do you agree with yourself? That's amazing. All right. Global warming scam. All right. Global warming scam. Okay. This is like something that people keep sending me. And they keep sending it to me as if my opinion has any sort of scientific background. I'm just basing it on scientists.
That's all I'm basing it on. And that fucking 2.5 times the size of Texas and 2 miles deep swirl of garbage in the fucking Pacific Ocean. That how just about every fish has some degree of plastic in their fucking system. Okay, but none of that has to do with temperature. Love your show. It's really refreshing to hear someone in show business actually talk about some very important social pertinent things. When the fuck do I ever do that? Like what, football? Three-toed sloths? Flopping your dick on the bar? These are important to you? I agree with everything you talk about on your show. I don't need you to. He goes, except, or she says, he or she, except global warming. The global warming scam is another system of control. I agree we should stop using oil and coal. These carbon sources are highly polluting and release toxins and mercury into the biosphere, but this has nothing to do with global warming. I know you love documentaries. God, can you guys just stop being maybe I'm taking it in a cunty way. I know you love documentaries. God knows you don't read. He's probably right. Look up global warming swindle on YouTube. A little taste into the global warming rat hole. There's a ton of other information on the web that exposes this bullshit scam. Good luck and looking forward to hear what you have to say about this. See, I don't get that. I'm supposed to just look up a bunch of shit that all agrees with the other side and then the other side's wrong? That's like me saying to you, look up all this shit about global warming and how we're affecting the climate. And I'm looking forward to see what you have to say. I would think that the fact that in France, all the leaders of the world just got together with all these scientists and all that, and even on the right, who has been saying it's bullshit from day one. From day one, they were saying it's fucking bullshit. Even they finally came out and they said, yeah, we are affecting it. And then they were like, but it's too late to do anything now. Like, that's what they came out with. So why would they be doing that? Wait a minute. You're saying that they're doing it to try to control us. That's such a long way to go, isn't it? Can't they just control us by scaring the shit out of us? The normal way? Like, oh, there's this group of people that doesn't have planes or a boat, and they're coming over here to get us. Like they've been doing for 15 fucking years. Can't they just do that? I'll watch those things, but I would like to know who paid for those, who financed those documentaries. Because if they're companies that are getting attacked for it, there's obviously, getting attacked for the pollutants that they're putting into the atmosphere, then, they could be going, well, we need to get this off of us by putting the real information out there. But generally speaking, I as a rule, I don't believe corporations. I just don't. People in general. I mean, I'm full of shit, right? Why the fuck would I believe? I'll watch it. You know what? You know what? This is the thing. I actually hope you're right. Because then I can have a lot less guilt and just go out and buy some fucking goddamn V8, man. Get out there and fucking drive around, do some donuts. P.S. Global warming carbon credits are controlled by the same crooked bankers that are fucking up the world economy. Well, I kind of think like the bankers, don't they control everything? They kind of own everything, right? Are we still making payments on the White House? Do they have to refinance that? I know it burned down in the 1800s. Who knows?